guys, it's Sarah, and today I have my Unhaulathon Wrap Up. So the Unhaulathon was a very low-key 2-week readathon that happened the first 2 weeks of August, and the point was to go through your bookshelves, pick up some of the oldest books that you have owned, and go ahead and get those read so that you can unhaul them. And so I picked books off of my shelf that I knew, for the most part, I was probably going to read and then be good to unhaul them afterwards. I had picked 7 books, and I am now ready to unhaul 4 of them. So let me show you what happened. The first one that I finished for the Unhaulathon is I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. I ended up listening to this on audio, and I'm really realizing that I really enjoy her books on audio. And it's usually the same narrator from everything I have listened to so far, but she's really great, and she has a really great British accent, so it makes it listening to it just a lot of fun. But I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It is about 2 people who end up kind of getting to know each other over text message because the woman in here finds a cell phone when she's in desperate need of one because she's lost her own, and it ends up belonging to a company and a man whose secretary had thrown it in the trash. And so she ends up keeping it because she needs it to communicate with certain people, and they end up forming a friendship this way, a lot through text message. So it was really cute. I really liked it. And it was a good contemporary love story, and 4 stars. However, I am good to unhaul this now. The next book that I finished, I actually listened to this on audiobook as well, and I was excited to listen to it because the author reads it and it is a nonfiction memoir. But that is A Long Way Gone by Ishmael Bia. Okay, guys. I had really high hopes for this one, but ultimately I was a bit let down. Number one, he's not the best audiobook narrator. He was very monotone, and, you know, it was a little hard to focus on it. And the story wasn't super interesting. He did go through a lot of really hard things. He saw a lot of death. He was responsible for a lot of death because he was raised to be a boy soldier in Africa. But almost this entire book was that. And I was really hoping it was going to be more of, you know, maybe the first half being in Africa and then the second half coming over to America and how that changed him and what happened when he came over here. We only got a little snippet of America at the end. And so I was really wanting that a lot more out of this one because I think it would have felt more like a whole, you know, full circle story. So I didn't end up enjoying this one as much as I really wanted to. I did give it 3 stars because it is a very important story, and, you know, it's important for us to know about things that are happening, you know, elsewhere in the world than where we are. But ultimately, it just wasn't my favorite. And another one that I ended up finishing is City of Thieves by David Benioff. I also listened to the audiobook of this. Do we see a trend here? Audiobooks are like saving my life right now. So this is a World War II historical fiction, and it follows 2 boys in Russia who get the task of trying to find a dozen eggs in order for a very prominent person to make a wedding cake for his daughter's wedding. And eggs are very hard to come by. So they get sent off on this journey, and they go through a lot of things and meet a lot of different people, encounter a lot of enemies. This audiobook was really good, but halfway through it, I realized it was being narrated by Ron Perlman. And I didn't know that the entire time I'm listening to it. And I was like, do you mean to tell me that Clay Morrow has been reading me this book this whole time and I have not realized it? Clay Morrow, Sons of Anarchy. Come on. He is a fantastic narrator, by the way. His voice is just fantastic. So I did really enjoy his reading of this. Definitely, it made me enjoy it a lot more. The story was fine. I wanted a little bit more from the characters. We didn't get a ton of background from the characters, so I had a hard time feeling as much empathy as I should have because some really horrible things happened in here, especially to a lot of the people around them. They were watching a lot of people go through a lot of stuff that wasn't necessarily happening to them. They were scared for their lives quite a few times, but nothing compared to what they were witnessing other people go through. So it's probably bad to say, but I wanted them to kind of, if they have suffered a little bit more physically, I might have felt a little bit more empathy for them, which is a terrible thing to say. But you know, you got to keep it interesting, right? So, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I definitely recommend the audiobook if it's something that you guys want to check out and you like audiobooks, because Ron Perlman is just fantastic. All right, next one, Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. And I DNF'd this. I got halfway through it and I was so bored, you guys. Nothing was happening. We were halfway through the book. A teenage girl, her sister goes missing, but not really. She just ran away. And you know where she is. And her family knows where she is, but they still act like she ran away. And the only thing that really happened in here was that she met a bad boy. And I didn't care. Halfway through the book, and that's all that happened. And I was like, I'm bored. I don't care about these people. This is stupid drama that shouldn't even be drama because you're making it to be dramatic. And I don't care. So halfway through, I couldn't stand it. I DNF'd it. I don't know about Sarah Dessen. The other books I have read by her were just fine for me. I think they're just a little bit too young adult, and I don't care about the drama because I think it's all just really stupid. So I don't know if me and Sarah Dessen are going to get along or not. I'm definitely not going to buy any more of her books. This was the only other one on my shelf I think that I have that I bought from her. The other 2 I gave away already, and I'm definitely giving this away. So I'm definitely not going to buy any more. If I ever really find myself interested in reading any of your books, I'm just going to get it from the library. But yeah, so DNF. Which leaves these 3 that were from my TBR. Now, I did start The Killing Floor by Lee Child. This is the first book in the Jack Reacher series, and I am currently only 45 pages in, but I did start it. It's a little bit slow starting out, but I do plan to continue this and finish it. I'm just going to do it after my 7 and 7 readathon is finished. I'll get back to this one, but it might take me a little longer than I was expecting to get through this. At least until some of the action picks up, because it just hasn't gotten to the action yet. But I like Jack Reacher. I loved the 2 movies that came out. And so I'm definitely wanting to read the first book to see where the inspiration came from. And that leaves The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath and Ghost of Manhattan by Douglas Brunt that I was not able to get to. But I'm not going to unhaul them. I'm going to hang on to them because I do still want to read them eventually sometime. It's just not going to happen right now. And that is it. So I am officially unhauling 4 of the 7 books that I had planned to read in order to unhaul. So that's pretty good. That's more than half. And I am currently in the middle of one of them. So let me know down below if you guys participated or if you have any books that you are wanting to read so that you can unhaul them as well. If you've gotten rid of any books recently, let me know that too. But I'm really glad I found that readathon. And like I said, it was very low key, very relaxed. And I'm now ready to unhaul 4 books, which is fantastic. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I will see you guys again later. Bye.